We have some other updates we want to get to with regard to Israel and the Gaza Strip. We can put this up on the screen. So 5 Palestinians, including 3 World Central Kitchen workers, have been killed after a car belonging to the World Central Kitchen was targeted by an Israeli drone in Gaza's Khan Yunis city. You may recall, this is not the first time that Israel has targeted World Central Kitchen aid workers. This is Jose Andres' outfit. You will also recall that the first time this happened, there was a large uproar here in D.C. and across the country, I mean, really around the globe. But, you know, it was the first time that people in D.C. were like, oh my God, someone I know is actually connected to this slaughter. And so there was a significant amount of concern and outrage. But ultimately, was there accountability? Of course not. And so this time, when these aid workers, these Palestinian aid workers, including World Central Kitchen workers, are struck and killed, you barely hear anything about it. And, you know, it's the perfect story of the way that lack of accountability breeds impunity. And it's the same story with the, repeated violations of the ceasefire with Hezbollah. They know they can do it, and Matt Miller will just get up there and be like, well, we have a mechanism and we'll get back to you, and they have their right to defend themselves, et cetera, et cetera. Like, they know that's going to be the response, so they're going to do whatever the hell that they want. And it is not only World Central Kitchen workers that have been killed here. We can put the next piece up on the screen. We also have Save the Children aid workers who say they are devastated and outraged at the killing of a Save the Children staff member in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza. Our second colleague killed in Gaza. We condemn this attack in the strongest terms and demand an investigation. You know, the killing of aid workers, of medical professionals, of professors, of all types of people. Journalists have been some of the largest targets in terms of the Gaza Strip. This has been ongoing, and it continues to be ongoing because, again, the U.S. has allowed them to act with complete impunity and with zero accountability. At the same time, Al Jazeera has a deeply disturbing report about the way that Israel is using these quadcopters. And this had been rumored for a long time, but not fully confirmed, that they use these quadcopters. They play sounds of crying babies or mothers calling for help to lure people out of their tents or their shelters. And then once they are lured out, looking for this desperate baby, desperate mom to try to help, then they shoot and kill them. Let's take a listen to a little of this report from Al Jazeera.
In mid-April, we were informed that Israeli quadcopters were emitting bizarre sounds, including baby sounds or women screaming. I went personally to Nusayrat and I interviewed several Palestinians separately, and the testimonies were almost identical. Quadcopters were for 2 consecutive nights on the 14th and the 15th, I guess, of April. They were emitting baby sounds, playing sounds of screaming women. He played these sounds only to lure citizens out of their homes and to find someone to shoot. And this was confirmed by actually the reports that we followed up on at hospitals. There were cases of people getting injured by these quadcopters after going out to figure out what was the sound, to try to help.
And then they go on to speak to a young man there who one of his family members had been killed by one of these quadcopters. And, you know, this just very obviously flies in the face of the idea we're doing this targeted hunt for Hamas. They're trying to lure out whoever they can lure out with these quadcopters and then indiscriminately murdering them. And that is what our taxpayer dollars are going to fund. So congratulations, everyone. Last piece, Saagar, that wanted to get to here, which I don't even know what to say about this. Put this up on the screen. So Biden, over the Thanksgiving holiday, I think this was actually on Black Friday. Apparently, I think this was maybe the day before he informed Hunter he was going to be pardoning him. Correct. You see Hunter there in the picture. Mm-hmm. But if you look at that book that he's holding as he comes out of the bookstore, that is the 100 Years War on Palestine, a fantastic book digging into the consistent violent oppression of Palestinians, written by renowned academic Rashid Khalidi. And now, after more than a year of facilitating this genocide, he thought maybe he'd read about what's going on in the region. I mean, what what do you even say to this?
I don't know. It's like struggle session-esque.
Like I guess he wants to know where he fits in the 100 Years War on Palestine, like what role he's playing in the renewed aggressive Palestinian violent oppression.
I would just put it in terms of the most Biden move of all time. Also, that was on Nantucket, just so people know.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, just
it makes it even more perfect.
In case you weren't aware, it is a great bookstore, though. I will say that.
It is. There is something. I'm not sure I can totally distill it, but it's so perfect about a liberal, quote unquote, who's been facilitating genocide for a year, but is gonna read this book and signal that he feels bad about what's going on there.
I think that's basically what
and on Nantucket.
I mean,
like
look,
all of that
is
too
on
perfect.
Nantucket, the president of the United States. It's very much like liberal guilt and like let me at least try to understand what the other side is. It's actually quite classic.
Yeah, and it's like doing the reading after the fact too.
Yeah, there's certainly there. I mean, look, let's also do the alternative, which he has no idea what he's doing. He just picked it up. He's like, oh, Palestine, okay. So I'm interested in that.
Or
I'm involved.
Or his staffer or whatever.
Hunter or somebody
handed
like
it
that.
to him. Like,
that's probably the most likely outcome, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
That somebody, his granddaughter or his great-granddaughter, his great-granddaughter, something like that, is the person who handed it.
I mean, he's so cooked. There's no way he can fully read or comprehend a book.
He's at the point in his life where somebody's got to read to him, like at a nursing home. Like that's kind of what we're looking at. Even a lot of these interviews and things that we're looking at, they're crazy. He's in Angola right now. He's in Africa, or I think he's either there right now or he's on his way. There's no plans to do a press conference. Nothing. I mean, it never happens in a foreign trip. For the only time a United States president travels abroad and doesn't do a press conference is when they go to like China, where they don't have a press.
Well,
and that's at the request of the Chinese government. Not because of the U.S. government. The Angola and all that, they want to do a press conference. They want to publicize that an American president is finally visiting Africa.
Right.
And he's like, no, I can't do it.
Well, I think
crazy.
last time he did a foreign press conference, didn't he wander into the rainforest?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, thank you. I was gone for that. He was like
didn't work out so
off
well
into the Amazon rainforest. It's like, dude, what's gonna happen? Ask Teddy Roosevelt. He's the last president to drift off in the American Amazon rainforest. Didn't work out for him.
It's a good way for former presidents to end their life, just to wander off into the wilderness.
It does appear that rainforest trip, unfortunately, is what killed Roosevelt. The malaria and all of that. They said he never recovered from it. So
wow.
There you go.
Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.